What was your favorite part of the buying process with Salter?
The buying process was phenomenal. I got to tell you right up front that of all the things we've ever bought over the years, luxury cars, beautiful grandfather clocks, antiques, jewelry, anything, this was by far the best buying experience. He sold the product. He represents the whole company. Rich Emery did a phenomenal sales job because he answered all of our questions without a lot of fluff, not too much pressure. He knew his product. That was the beauty of it. And he was able to answer all the technical questions when we had a three-way conference call with the design guys. And these are guys that, I mean, everyone has their specialty. You do what you do for a living, I do what I do for a living. So I know my business, you know yours. But he knew all the fractions, the buzzwords, the measurements, the things these guys were looking for. And when we got off the phone, they said, we've never worked with somebody, like a third-party customer shop that's as sharp as this guy. And then, sure to his word, a couple of days later, all the CAD drawings were there. They had a second conference call where they adjusted things to the 32nd of an inch. They knew it would all be right. And we pulled the trigger. And it was a phenomenal buying experience because this guy knew his stuff inside out. And I know it sounds like I'm just raving about it, but it was a phenomenal buying experience.
What did Salter do differently than others or surprised you in general?
The extent to which they were able to customize their product. Most of the other products that we looked at were off-the-shelf solutions. I won't say one size fits all, but here's a range of sizes, here's a range of colors. That's pretty much it. Salter was able to custom tweak certain aspects of their product for us, which put it over the top. Also, they were more responsive. The website was great. They answered the phone, believe it or not. There was one company which supposedly, if you listen to them, went to their website, did a hell of a lot of business. And we called them up and it took them 2 days to get back to us. Salter was right there for us. We had a few, we ordered ours late in the season and we anticipated there could be a few minor delays, and there were, but they kept us informed. So because of that, it wasn't a big deal. And when you're talking about a project that was a year in the making, a week or two is not sinking any ship.
Why did you pick Spiral Stair?
Because that's what this room called for. It's a classic Victorian formal library. Nothing else would have done. Anything else would have looked like a fire escape.
Do you have any worries ordering your stair from a company without meeting them in person?
Yes and no. Now, as we all transition into a wired internet world, it's not uncommon for someone to buy a $25,000 Patek Philippe or Rolex from someone in Texas that they've never met, and then when they get it, either they like it or they don't, and if they don't, they ship it back. So we're starting to transition into an era where people are making large purchases without meeting the people, and part of that is because of the guarantees and trusts built into shopping services like Amazon or PayPal. We didn't have any of that with Salter. It was strictly, how do we feel about these people? And they showed us pictures of their shop, their machinery, but they, I got to go back to Rich Emery. This guy was a consummate professional, knew his product, told us this is what you can expect, this is how long it's going to take, this is how much it's going to cost. That's really the three things that buyer needs to know. So, yeah, we were a little concerned because it's a lot of money, but they did everything they said they'd do. They did it when they said they'd do it, and we got what we bought, what we paid for, what we expected.
And who installed your staircase?
New Shapes, NU-SHPES of Lakeville, Minnesota. And Dave Rao is the president of New Shapes. started as a cabinet maker himself many years ago. Even though he's the president, he still comes out and helps on the installs. I gotta say though, that for all the hundreds of doctors and dentists' offices and kitchens they've done and commercial stuff, they do a lot of residential stuff, but commercial stuff's the bread and butter. This was his pet project. And when it was all finished, because some of his guys did some of the final work, and he came in a week after they had hammered the last nail, whatever you want to call it, so to speak. He came in, he just stood, he looked around, and I'm talking about a grown man, Dave's in his probably late 50s, just started weeping. So he was so impressed with his own work, and it was a masterpiece. He said, in my whole career, this is my masterpiece. And it was kind of a beautiful thing.
That is so neat. It turned out beautiful.
Great.
The last question is, can I get a video of you walking up and down the stairs?
Absolutely.
Okay.
How's that?
That's perfect.